Imagine a world where humans did not yet exist, where intelligence was forming but unfinished, where survival depended not on knowledge but on instinct slowly turning into awareness. Millions of years ago, early hominids walked the earth without knowing what they were becoming, standing upright for the first time in African landscapes filled with danger, uncertainty, and constant fear. They were not strong, fast, or dominant, yet they survived by changing how they moved, how they watched, and how they stayed together. Australopithecus and other early hominids lived between forest and grassland, caught between trees and open land, forced to adapt or disappear as climate shifted and predators hunted relentlessly. Every step forward exposed them to risk, but it also gave them vision, free hands, and a future they could not imagine, beginning the longest transformation in the history of life. Early hominids lived without comfort, without shelter as we know it, and without control over their environment, relying instead on observation, memory, and group behavior to stay alive. They fed on plants, roots, insects, and scavenged meat, often arriving after predators had already eaten, using stones to crack bones for marrow that provided critical nutrition for growing brains. These simple stone tools were not inventions of genius, but discoveries born from necessity, marking the first step toward technology. Social bonds began to form not from culture, but from survival, as individuals who stayed together lived longer than those who wandered alone. Mothers protected their young fiercely, while group members shared food and defended one another, unknowingly shaping the earliest foundations of empathy, cooperation, and social structure that would define humanity millions of years later. Despite living in a world filled with danger, early hominids revealed something extraordinary that separated them from other species. They cared for one another beyond immediate survival. Fossil records show individuals who lived for years with severe injuries, missing teeth, or broken limbs, survival that would have been impossible without others providing food, protection, and patience. This care created stronger groups where individuals no longer existed only for themselves, but for the survival of the whole. Elders became living libraries, carrying memory of landscapes, seasons, and danger, while children learned by watching, copying, and slowly practicing skills under guidance. Leadership emerged through experience rather than dominance, as those who understood the land and people best guided group decisions. Even in times of scarcity, early hominids protected the weak, shared resources, and stayed together during loss, proving that compassion increased survival more effectively than aggression. Everything changed the moment early hominids learned not just to fear fire, but to control it, because fire transformed the night from a time of terror into a space of safety and connection. Flames pushed predators into the darkness, allowed bodies to survive colder climates, and turned raw food into cooked meals that unlocked more energy for the growing brain, silently reshaping anatomy and intelligence. Around fire, early hominids gathered regularly, not by instinct alone but by choice, sharing warmth, food, and presence in ways never seen before. This gathering created the foundation of communication. As gestures became signals, sounds gained meaning, and shared attention strengthened trust within the group. Homo habilis and later Homo erectus refined stone tools, shaped wood, and learned to hunt cooperatively rather than rely on leftovers, coordinating movement and intention across individuals. Fire allowed them to stay in one place longer, plan ahead, and protect the vulnerable, turning survival from reaction into strategy. With these changes, early hominids began migrating beyond Africa into unfamiliar lands, crossing rivers, plains, and forests, proving that adaptability and learning, not brute force, were the true forces. As brains continued to grow and neural connections deepened, early hominids began to experience the world with reflection rather than instinct alone. Neanderthals and other archaic humans displayed remarkable intelligence through finely crafted tools, controlled hunting strategies, and adaptation to extreme Ice Age environments that demanded planning and cooperation. They hunted large animals not through strength, but through coordination, patience, and shared intent, revealing complex social thinking. Evidence suggests they buried their dead, arranged objects with care, and engaged in symbolic behavior, hinting at memory, emotion, and perhaps belief. These actions show that early hominids were beginning to think beyond survival, forming identity, connection, and meaning within their communities. Though many of these species eventually vanished, they were not failures but necessary chapters of evolution, each contributing genetic material, behaviors, and survival strategies that shaped the emergence of modern humanity. Modern humans did not suddenly appear to replace early hominids. They emerged gradually from them, carrying forward millions of years of trial, error, resilience, and learning. Every tool created today, every society formed, and every story told traces back to those early ancestors who stood upright and chose cooperation over isolation. Their world was harsh, uncertain, and unforgiving, yet they survived not because they were strongest, but because they learned to share knowledge, protect one another, and imagine a future beyond the next day. When we look into the distant past, we are not observing strangers, but witnessing humanity in its earliest form, learning how to think, feel, and belong. The greatest achievement of early hominids was not conquest or dominance, but the quiet creation of connection, intelligence, and hope, foundations that allowed humanity to rise from survival into civilization and carry the story of life forward.